Davis pulled up with a truck full of exciting things, and some of them with these gorgeous containers. And I believe you've got someone who specializes in container creation at the nursery.
Yes, we have a wonderful lady up there by the name of Sue Kroll who does our container work. Usually you can find her at her potting bench, bringing out creations
Putting
such
together
as these.
beautiful things. Well, here's one that is for full sun, and let's talk about, we'll begin with these little pansy-like flowers that are in the front.
Right, they're in the same genus as the pansies. Those are violas, sometimes called Johnny Jump-Ups, because a lot of them will reseed themselves, and you'll get them coming back from seed and jumping up everywhere in the yard.
And that's kind of fun, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And then since it's a container, we need a spiller. And so over here we have this beautiful green and white leaf plant.
That's one of the dead nettles. That's Lamium maculatum.
Lamium.
That particular variety is purple dragon.
Okay. And then since it's foliage, and there are all kinds of foliage, and green is a color, especially when it's got red mixed with it. What is this lovely thing?
That is Rumex, also known as bloody dock or red vein dock. It is an evergreen perennial, so it's going to persist all winter long, just like everything else.
And if I
in the
wanted
container.
to take a tiny pinch, it would be sour in my mouth.
Very much so.
Yeah, so I'm not going to do that. But Tony has done that with the native one. I think we all have at times.
We used to call it sourweed.
Sourweed, yeah, it's kind of fun. And then look at this wonderful thing we have for height.
That is a juncus. It's one of the rushes. That one is blue arrow. Here again, it's a very durable perennial that can stay in that container until it gets root bound.
And you know, one of the fun things about that, I think, is the texture we've got. We've got this very broad textured Rumex, and then we have this very slender. And you know, so not only colors, but textural differences can add a lot of interest to containers as well. And then we're going to end up with something that looks like my hair if I got mixed in with the green food coloring. I'm not quite sure. Maybe Vicky will emulate this one day. What is this great thing?
That one is a euphorbia. It's a first cousin of our beloved poinsettia. That one is called Ascot Rainbow. It will eventually get about 2 feet tall. It's a hardy and very durable perennial. Yes.
So you could actually use that in your garden if you wanted a colorful spot.
Yes, you certainly
collection
can.
Of those.
Thrives in the heat and the full sun.
Okay, and then although we had a very nice supper tonight, courtesy of Substation 2, which does our catering, this is a container that I think almost everything in it is edible.
That's right. That particular container is another one of our full sun containers that Sue created. Only this time she used plants that were all edible.
And so we've got again we've got the little Johnny Jump-Ups, and we've also got some of the larger pansies, very beautiful. And apparently you know how to candy them. I don't know how to do it. I just throw a couple on top of a salad for beauty sometimes.
Throw them on a salad, use them as a garnish on a cake. They're lovely on cupcakes, and they add to the flavor. To candy them, you just simmer them in some boiling sugar water briefly. Take them out, let them dry on a paper towel until they're crispy. They retain their color, and they taste great.
Yeah. And then here, of course, we have the beloved thing that anybody who is a Greek meat lamb aficionado has to have.
I think just about everything benefits from rosemary.
And you know, the pollinators do too, because when it blooms, and a long bloom period, you always see the pollinators on it, don't you?
Yes, the bumblebees and butterflies in particular.
And then I'm going to actually spin this around a little bit, and in the very middle, we've got something that has, I mean, everything about this, the shine and the brightness of it.
That is a Swiss chard. It's a delicious vegetable, and it's also a striking ornamental. That particular mix is called Bright Lights because the stems are in shades of yellow, pink, green, magenta, red. It's a beautiful plant. It'll eventually, just over the course of the winter, it'll get up about 2 feet tall.
It's going to make a great statement, isn't it? And then for people who maybe are enjoying cooking potatoes in the winter or trying some winter squashes, you've got several nice little herbs that would be great mixed in and give some extra flavor to carrots and squashes and things like that.
Yes, the thyme in particular is a very useful herb in just about any vegetable dish. I like to use it in bean dishes. It's also excellent in soups and stews, and it's ornamental. That is lemon thyme. It's got a nice little cream-colored margin, so it's ornamental. It will produce a few little pink flowers in the spring, and here again, it tastes good.
And then over here, we've really got a lovely herb.
And with Thanksgiving coming up, everybody's going to want some sage.
That's right.
That's a tricolor sage. It's, of course, when you think of sage, you think of sausage and stuffing, and sausage stuffing.
And when you look at the mixtures that are distinctly for chicken and turkey. It always starts out with sage too.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does.
Just wonderful for the winter. Just a beautiful container. Okay, and then let's come down to this one because these were for sun, but you said this was one that could take a little bit of partial sun into a little more shade.
Yes, in fact, this one, with the exception of the violas that are in the middle, this one can actually take quite a bit of shade. For our upright plant in the center, we have a Hicks yew, which, as Tony so adequately put it, this is also the national shrub of Washington, D.C., because the genus name is Taxus. I think he stole that from Dr. John Nelson, but that's for another show.
That's fun, yeah.
On the right side of this container is a snow in summer Asiatic jasmine, which is one of the newer variegated ground cover jasmines. But this one also works very well in a container. You can see the beautiful pinks and whites.
Almost like
in
the
new
confetti
growth.
abelia. It's just beautiful.
Very much
beautiful.
so.
Uh-huh.
In the shade, you might lose some of that variegation. In full sun, the effect is stunning. It becomes the focal point of anything you put it in if it's in full sun. But it also has a great shade tolerance. In the center here, once again, we have one of the lamiums. This one is called golden lamium. It does have a nice chartreuse hue to it. This one has discolored a little bit because it's been inside for a while, but it's a bright golden color, and that offsets the pale purple flowers of that particular lamium or dead nettle. And then on this side we have one of the heucherellas. This one is.
I'm going to turn this just a little bit so they can get a little bit close because this is just beautiful.
This one is called Redstone Falls, and the name does indicate that it does trail. It's a cross between the coral bell and the native foam flower, hence the name Heucherella. Yes.
Yeah, and a perennial. And
evergreen perennial, yes.
Just beautiful. Okay. All right, well, let's move back to the middle because sometimes we say, let's have some fun with our containers.
Absolutely.
And I think these are made of an unusual material, and the color's great.
Yes, the material is a product called Licon fiber, which is Licon fiber.
That sounds like something that might be in my underwear.
I hope not, but it would be very uncomfortable.
Okay.
But the containers themselves are a blend of concrete and fiberglass, and they're lightweight, hence lightweight.
Really?
Fiberglass, concrete, Licon fiber, and since they are primarily concrete with some fiberglass in it, they're very durable. They'll hold up to the winters.
Oh, so they're not going to break apart in the frost.
No, they won't.
We can count on these for lasting many years.
Yes.
Well, how about the color? Is the color throughout them? Will the color last? It's not
Yes,
just
the color.
painted on.
The color is actually incorporated into the manufacturing process.
And so
yes.
you said with these, you thought it would be fun to kind of act like you were putting together an outfit.
Mix and match the colors. Indeed, what I did with this grouping was I chose colors for the plants that would pick up the colors in the other containers. The coral bell here and the heucherella here pick up the terracotta color in the front pot. The purple dragon lamium, which is the same as the full sun container. This one picks up the green. It's almost the same color as the green in this pot. And of course, we've got the blues that pick up the blue in the round container here.
Wow.
And the little new growth on the autumn fern is also reflected in the terracotta color.
Well, didn't you have a good time?
I had a great time.
Now, if someone wants to have a great time, they can come and get everything they need, the potting soil, everything, and go home with all these plants. But what if somebody says, you know, I'm really busy. Can we make arrangements? Can we have that lovely young lady put things together for us?
We certainly can. She does a very nice job, and for it to be a rush job like these were, she did a wonderful job. If she's given a little bit more time, she can create something that will just be absolutely stunning, and the neighbors will all come by and say, "Where did you get that pot?"